Alright, good and bad works. People will work with the arts, good and bad. Okay. First off, one might wonder, why would I be, a bad sorcerer, warlock, or whatever it may be? Number one, warlock is actually a term that was given, I believe, in Scotland. That was a term used to describe an oath breakers. People who break oaths, and it's equivalent to the N word for anyone that's pagan, Wiccan, or whatever. Anyone that actually understands what they're talking about. You say, "Oh, I want to become a warlock." Um, you know, that's not exactly something you really want to be. you know, um, Unless you want to join a coven, break the sacred oaths, and do bad things, and then go ahead. That's your call. Let's see. So, bad magic, good magic, white, black, whatever you want to call it. Realistically, people try and label black magic and white magic. Okay, I've heard some descriptions of, okay, you're a white magic user, you do like healing, protection, that's it, like that sort of stuff. That's all white. Okay. Um, I've heard other descriptions that say like, okay, you if you don't do white magic and you don't do black magic, you do elemental. Um, and that's where you like work with elements and everything else. And then black magic is like being able to do harm, being able to defend yourself, being able to do things with energy and throw just straight energy out. Honestly, that's just labeling. And all those different beliefs, you can say that, but personally, I find it very idiotic in a way to label something that's so extraordinarily magic in such a simple term and such a black and white concept. Honestly, it's not a black and white concept. Nothing in it is really a black and white concept. As I've explained in previous videos, many times what I've found is that whether it's good or bad is actually the outcome. And some say that, oh yeah, I'm black magic, but the outcomes I do it all for good. That makes me more of a good person. It's like realistically, you're not even really doing black magic. There's no real black magic. It's the outcome, it's the use of such arts to conquer whatever means. Now, there are dangerous things to do. Oh, yeah, there are dangerous things to do that one could possibly label as black or white, but realistically, it's not. Like even on the necromantic um, or the blast it all. Um, Even on necromantic or the voodoo based, where you're like actually trying to control people and actually hurting people, or spirits or souls or whatever. Um, you know, Even then, that's what one could consider dark. I wouldn't necessarily label anything as black magic. There really is no black and white to any situation. I mean, like I can know in some cases, some things I do know. I can know how to basically control somebody and say, I'm gonna have them get fired from their job today. I can have them get hit by a bus. I can know how to do it and I can actually be able to work with them. That doesn't mean that I do it. And also, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily bad. It's the outcome that ends up playing out. Now, granted, do not do that because you do those sort of things, it's gonna come back to you. Very rarely is there any reason at all that you should do that, that someone should be hit by a bus. There's very little reason that that should occur at all. You know, that's bad. Don't do that. You know. But I mean even healing, what one could consider a white magic, really it's good and all. And yes, usually the outcome's good for the better, bettering someone else, but in a way it could actually be a hindrance because sometimes the wound is something to to teach or to help in a certain lesson that someone might not learn. I mean, there are occasions, but most of the time when you're actually healing somebody, that's a good thing. Um, it's there is no real black and white. And elemental, that's just a label given for labeling everything in between. And it's the labels like that, it's a way to explain things, I guess, to a simpler mind. But when you're actually involved in doing it, those labels should be thrown away. They should be tossed out. That's my opinion, anyway. Because it really doesn't help you. It really doesn't do any good, and really doesn't help your spiritual growth. Because you're limiting yourself in a mindset of good, bad, good, bad, very terms of black and white, you know, it's limiting. And also, when you're doing it, you're limiting yourself to those particular aspects. Now, I guess we got some time. As we'll get into aspects of elemental. Like, people are drawn to a certain element, usually, okay? I myself find that I can, depending upon what day it is, I'm kind of day to day, what element I'm more drawn to. I mean, I can be very much like wind, very much like earth, very much like fire, very much like water, and grant all people have the aspects. For me, I don't know, I mesh with all, it seems. The elemental abilities and the elemental side of it is entirely is an interesting basis. And they're basic elements, and these are actually important labels because of their actual significance. Because each element in each culture has got very similar things, you know, Eastern, Western, as I've explained in elemental work. But some people say, okay, well, I'm a fire mage, right? Okay, I met that people. Granted, you can have more of a connection with fire. That doesn't mean that that's all you have to do. That doesn't mean that you're limited to that particular aspect, of yourself. That could be your main writing aspect. It could be your main personality aspect. That could be the main thing that you know how to do. But don't limit yourself, because you're just limiting yourself. What fire can be doused by water. Water can be absorbed by earth. Earth can be beaten down by wind. All those things, and each each plays a part. It's not You don't just have one element in you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be living. You'd be fire. If you were just fire, you would be just fire. You'd be a burning flame. Then I pee on you and you'd go out. um, yeah, you know, it's a limiting aspect, and we're all part of something. And you're trying to further yourself is what you're trying to do. Now, I understand the concept of okay, you're just starting out. You're yielding more towards earth or fire or whatever. Earth, learn those basics. Yes, learn earth, but don't forget that it's important to learn all the other elements as well. you know Learn how to work with them, learn how to do whatever it is. Then you'll reach true spirituality. People talk about levels. You keep going up, keep going up. And okay, well, I suppose with the labeling thing, might as well, I got time. So some people say like, okay, I'm on like a level whatever. I'm a level whatever doing this. Realistically, it's a stupid label. It's a stupid label. Like some people say I'm at this chakra or this whatever. Okay, great. I'm glad you got that understanding. I'm not saying that your chakra level is all that, but or isn't good, but it's a label. You're saying, "Oh, great. I got You got all this different ability and potential. That's fine. It's not about your chakra level. It's not about how big you are, how small you are. Realistically, I mean, it's about what you know and what you're seeking, what kind of spirituality you have. You don't need to put a label to it. You don't need to say my chakra level, if you're Eastern, you don't have to say my chakra level reaches Pluto or whatever it is. It's labeling limits you. And the more you limit yourself, the more that like honestly, I could say, yeah, my chakra level reaches out to the Sirius in the quadrant, whatever it is in space. That's how far out my chakra level, how much above it is. Does that matter? Like if I really don't understand spirituality, does that matter? If I understand all these great things, grand, it spirituality and knowledge related with this is more than just a level thing. It's an understanding within yourself, you know. And then I've heard, oh my god, this one is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I looked up some things like, apparently there's a guy that says that, oh, or there's people that say, oh, I'm level whatever, a fire mage. And I'm just like, what the hell? Pardon my language, but what the fuck kind of stuff are you smoking? It's not World of Warcraft. It's not World of Warcraft. It's not a Hollywood movie. You know, and then some people just start claiming all kinds of outrageous things. And like I said, be open minded but skeptical, but then there's a point where it's just like, okay, keep talking. Mute. They'll figure it out in a sec. Um, yeah, it's just, if you're following with that and you're following my channel, please just get off. I understand there's not a lot of people following my channel, but what the hell? What the hell? It's just madness. I mean, it's disappointing. The New Age movement and all this different things, all new paganism stuff. It's all great and stuff, but it's like there's just some people that are just going like it's World of Warcraft, Oh, yeah, I'm a level 50 fucking fire mage and I can blow a fireball out my penis and yeah, dude, whatever. Number one, that would hurt. Number two, just stick that somewhere else. I don't care. Irritating. Anyway, yeah, labeling, not a good thing. You know, understanding them, understanding things and like elements, and labeling yourself in particular, not a good thing. Even within well-established things such as elements, labeling not good. Um, don't label stuff. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself by labeling, and don't prejudge people based on labels. You know, um, that's all I really gotta say. All right, well, thanks, guys. Love you, Kim.